Hello and welcome back. You made it to day 2. Today I wanted to dive into something deeper, which is your bigger why. Why are you doing this? So it's often in our journey we get caught up, like I say before, in our mind of the chitter and our fears, right? That's why we're doing part 1. Part 2 is to remind you why you wanted to do this in the first place, because so many studies, you've seen it, so many studies that say that when you serve, when you volunteer, when you do something good for someone else, it shifts the perspective of you and onto that other person. So you're actually focusing on someone else and making them happy, right? Creating an impact. So once we overcome our fears and we really focus on something else, then changes begin to happen because we're doing it for someone else, right? So we often forget our why. We're often thinking we need this much money to pay the bills. Yeah, you do. We're in a really crazy world right now. Absolutely. But when you make that your key focus, then you start focusing on lack and scarcity, and it puts you into a very different frequency as opposed to I'm here to serve. And so that's what we're going to focus on today. It's going to be a bit of a shorter one today. You can see my artistic skills. I didn't do very well in art, but there you go. I'm trying my best. So today I've drawn the tree of why. And what I've done at the bottom, and you'll have this in your workbook, is at the bottom are your roots of the tree. These are your values. If you don't know what your values are, then drop me a DM and I can send you something about that, but you'll have a rough idea. A long time ago, I used to think there were something very different. I thought there were morals. And I used to think that my morals were the same as my partner at the time, but actually our values were very, very different. And now everything I do in my business, in my life, I show up because of my values. And, no surprise that when it came down to it, my top 2 were, not top 2, but were joy, play, love, compassion, and connection. And thus the joyful business circle, because I've got to find joy in what I do and have a bit of fun with it. The connection and the passion, so that I'm really feeling like I'm making connections along the way and making a difference in my life. And whether that's family or friends or whatever circles I'm in. So these are your values. Then we're going to skip right up to the impact. So take a second, pause the video, start with your values, just write down a couple just for now, just so you have a rough idea so that you're following along with me, and then pause and come back. Okay, now you're back. Don't skip these steps. Don't be one of those people. So we're going to leave this part for now, but I want to move up to the impact. Okay, so they're the little leaves. They are the fruition of all of your work. They are the breath of life. And I want you to take each one of those leaves and write how you want to impact the world. So, for example, kids can be a massive part of your life. You want to make an impact on your kids. You want to show them what's possible. You want to be a role model for them. You want them to see mama doing good, right? Mama can follow her dreams. It's never too late. Lead them by example. It can also be to a commission to charities. I love to support charities, and I love when women give a percentage of their income and profits to a charitable cause that is close to their hearts. So it means that you're just passing that circle around and around. So when you make more money, you've got more money to give to them. Right? So for me, it's having women, especially single women and mothers who are in poorer countries and don't have the resources to set up. So being able to fund that is just incredible, right? It just gives you this pass it on frequency, which I love. What else that you could impact? I think definitely in your business, you're going to be serving, I don't know who you're serving, but let's just say it's women for this instance. It could be children, men, whatever your cause is. But for me, women. Okay, so if you make a difference in one person's life, and you change the trajectory and they start a business, they feel better about themselves, they love themselves, whatever it is that you do, that then takes them on another journey, right? Because what if that one person that you helped then went on to set up a business and helped other people, and you just imagine this little ripple effect going on in the world, and that's how you make an impact, right? That's how you change people's lives. And that's only one person. Imagine you did that 10, 20, hundreds times over, and that ripple effect goes through, right, on their children's lives and their relationships. All of that is possible from everything that you've learned because you've overcome your fears, right? Because you've got all the qualifications, you know all of this stuff, you've lived the path. You're just that wee bit ahead of them that you'll be able to help them. I know you've probably heard that loads of times before, but it's so important to remember your why. So when you get up in the day, you're there to serve and think, right, how am I going to serve today to help make an impact, to help make a difference in the world, as us big-hearted people tend to want to do. So then, is it your bigger why? Is it your relationships? Is it the environment? You know, whatever your cause is around here, there can be so many of them that are close to your heart, and that really makes the impact that you want in the world. Because I was talking to somebody recently and they said, oh, so you want to change this and that and that and that, and I was like, yeah, you want to show up as the best version of yourself, right? You want to have an impact on your children, and you want to change the world. I mean, it's no mean feat, right? And I'm not saying that you can do all of those things, nor you should even take it on, but one tiny change that you can make such a difference if we all took it, right? So that is your impact. So you go from your values down to your impact. So pause and come back when you've got all of this written down. Really think about why you starting a business will make an impact in the world. What is your why that's going to drive you when things get tough? Okay, see you in a minute. And you're back. Did you press? I bet you just said. Okay, so then when you come down to here, this is your purpose. Okay, so this is your purpose stroke goals. What is it you're wanting to release out into the world right now? So for you, that could be a course. It could be coaching. It could be a book or a podcast. Anything that is inside you to be birthed or you want to take to the next level. That is your purpose. So all of that is obviously linked to your values. You can see it's streaming all the way up here. And then what the branches are your action steps. And so we in this circle don't believe in the big, hard, love Tony Robbins, but you know, it's all giant leaps and it's all, yeah, motivation, yeah. And trust me, I love it. I'm a big fan of it. But I know I walk away and I'm like, yeah. And then I leave and I go, oh, I'm on my own again. And your energy just deflates and you're back to where you are. So I'm not a fan of the big leaps per se. I'm more about the short little things that create long lasting impact. And that is what these are about. So from your values, for that, whether you want to create a podcast or a course, to making an impact on your children, what is it that you need to do? What are your next steps that you've been maybe hiding from to get there? So, you know, let's take a course, for example. So these manageable steps then become write an outline, practice videoing, write a survey, find out what people want. And then just keep adding to your list as you go along so that you've got really small actionable steps as opposed to jumping from here to there and then just freaking out and taking those giant leaps and freezing and just freezing again. So for me, this is so important not to skip. That is why I put it in here today for you to go through. Tomorrow we will be moving into those small actionable steps. Everything is built on each other, and a little bit of fun and rewards in there tomorrow as well. But take the time to remember your why. You are very needed in this world right now, more than anything in this world right now. I have, like I have done in the other parts, I put meditations together, I put EFT scripts together, because it's part of the releasing it through, really tapping into the energy of what you want to create. Not what you already have there, but what you want to create, because all is possible. And you know me by now, I love a good sticky note, and I never often get it right. However, I'm going to read it. To know even one life has breathed easier because you have lived, this is to have been successful. And that is so true. If you can just help one person live easier, haven't you done a good job? Really? And if you're a mom, like, you're already winning a life in so many ways, which you probably beat yourself up for, but I know you're doing an amazing job. So hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. I'm enjoying our times together. DM me if you want any more information, especially about the values work, or if you're getting stuck, I am here. Mwah.